and welcome to a new episode of the WRW podcast. It has been a while. So I got a couple friends here with me. My name is Keith. I am the worship pastor at Forward Church and looking after a few things with WRW. Who else do we have here? Do you want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Candace. I am the worship director at Base Church.
And I'm Kim. I'm a worship leader at WPA Church.
Awesome. And you guys have both been very involved in getting ready for WRW 2024.
It's been quite the lift.
It has.
But it's also been a fun lift. It's a fun process pulling everything together and getting to prep for seeing a number of people come together to worship and also get trained up.
That's right. That's right. So this year is very exciting because we've got some new things happening. We've got the worship night happening on March the 1st here at Forward Church in Cambridge. And we're following it up the next day with something new. Kim, do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we are actually hosting our first ever WRW worship conference.
Come on.
Yes.
And we're so excited. And we're just working hard on that, trying to make it happen.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about that a little bit, and then we'll jump into the worship night after that as well. But I know, Candace, you were around for some of the first conversations around a conference. Why do you think it's important that WRW should put on a worship conference?
Well, it was actually this picturesque moment. We're sitting around a campfire talking about what should WRW be doing over the next season. And this idea came out of, hey, we're all working to train our teams. And with the budgets that we have, we could, do a few really great things throughout the year. But what would it actually look like to come together, train our teams together, and actually hold something really significant that's going to benefit not only our teams, but really teams around Waterloo Region, around Ontario. I know we have some churches and teams from all around Ontario coming in, which is really exciting. But the heart was, hey, we have this actually fairly strong base of a worship night that's been going on for year after year, a community of worship leaders. And what could we actually do as a community of worship leaders to not just benefit us who are in the room, but to actually continue to benefit our churches and other churches that aren't in the room yet?
Absolutely. And it's going to be, from what I see coming together, it's going to be an amazing day. And we're looking forward to having that opportunity to resource those that are in the region with some new skills, hopefully, to, shore up the skills that they already have. Hopefully. And it benefits all the churches. Our desire really is just to see all churches within our region operating and worshiping God in the best ways that they can so that God is glorified, right? So, Kim, you've been a huge part of the planning team on that as well. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what is happening on that conference day?
Yeah, so we have a lot planned for that day. We have session breakouts in the morning, breakout sessions in the afternoon as well. And it's just different topics ranging from breakout sessions for instruments, so vocals, drums, guitars, keyboards, how to lead. We have a session on burnout, which I think would be fantastic for this day and age to help equip some people with tools that they can use. We have a guest speaker coming as well, so we're really looking forward to that. But lots of good things happening. We're very excited for it. Mm-hmm.
Guest speaker. Candace, do you want to tell us about our guest speaker?
Yeah, so his name is Judd. He is, I think, the director of the Liberty Worship Collective. It's the worship ministry out of Liberty University. He was formerly part of Vertical Worship. You may have heard him sing Yes, I Will, a song that I love personally. And I actually was at a conference where he was speaking a few months ago and heard him speak about songwriting, and I will say that we are really and truly in for a treat. Just the way that he talks about pursuing God, the way that you can tell, like, as he worship leads, he loves God. It's going to be really encouraging for all of us who are there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've loved seeing as people are signing up for the conference, how many are signing up for the songwriting workshop with Judd.
Yeah.
And what gets me excited is the songs that are going to come out of this community over the next couple years.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I agree.
Because songwriting to me is so important to be done regionally. I think there's songs that have to be written out of the hearts of those that are here in Waterloo Region, and that will speak to the hearts of those that are in our churches and allow them to express their hearts authentically to the Lord in worship, right? So if you think of all those people that'll be sitting in that room learning, there's going to be some amazing songs in the next few years. I'm trusting for that as well.
Yeah, We're just hoping that this conference can be the place where those songs are birthed. Like, that's our hope and prayer. I'm so looking forward to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Judd's going to be teaching a breakout on songwriting. He's also going to be leading one of our keynote sessions and speaking to us during the day. And he'll be leading some worship as well during the day. So we can look forward to that, as well as leading a song on the Friday night alongside all of our regional worship leaders. So we're putting him to work when he comes up here.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. By the end of it, he's going to love Waterloo Region. It's going to be great.
Oh, of course. What's there not to love? So
Truly.
we'll just send him up into Kitchener, Waterloo, and tell him to find somewhere without a GPS.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's perfect with all the one-ways.
yeah.
Around
The parallel streets that somehow intersect. It's
Oh
great.
man, he will get lost and fall in love with the city because there's
There
lots
you
to fall in love
go.
with.
We'll have to wander.
That's it. So it sounds like a lot of music sessions.
Yeah.
I know, is this just for musicians, or I'm asking a question I know the answer to, but I want you to give the answer. We have lots of other sessions for.
We do. We have lots of sessions for our tech team. They are just as important as everyone else on the team. We have sessions for Pro Presenter, for lighting, for live streaming, everything you can think of. If you're interested in thinking of joining this type of ministry or starting this ministry in your church, we have a session for that so that you can, learn some tips and tricks of the trade. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
Now seems like a really good time to stop and thank our sponsors, because we have some sponsors for our conference as well.
Yay, sponsors.
And so we want to say thank you to Faith FM, who are jumping on board. And I've just loved some of the conversations I've had with the team over at Faith FM. They are excited to see the church in Waterloo Region, big church, Big C church, be resourced and given an opportunity to grow. And they love the church in this region, and so they're putting some money into that as well. And so they're going to be helping to advertise a little bit, but they are one of our official sponsors here for the WRW conference. Second sponsor is multitracks.com. And I'm excited. We're going to have their regional rep, Andre, is going to be coming down to join us for the conference. And he's going to be teaching us all about multitracks. And so if you've ever had a question about how you can integrate multitracks into your setup at your church, I know there's many churches in the region that already use it, but some that are exploring that. Now is the time to find out, because he's going to be here and he'll be able to give some hands-on training
So awesome.
and answer all those millions of questions we forget to ask through the chat.
Yeah, straight from the source. Like, why not?
Oh, I'm excited.
That's
It's gonna be
right.
great.
So we're thankful for both multitracks.com and Faith FM as they've come on and sponsored. And that just helps us to do even more with conferences like this and be able to resource the church a little bit better. So
Definitely.
awesome.
Loving it.
First ad in a WRW podcast. There we go.
Hey, it's a first year for many things.
That's right. That's right. So the worship night, this is something that is a favorite for people in the region. We have already started with our choir rehearsals. And at last I heard from Carissa, who is our choir director, we have over 55 people in the choir this year.
Wild.
And I apologize to all those people that have tried to sign up since we shut it down, because we had to close choir.
First.
Yeah.
First time we had to shut down choir registrations because I didn't know where we were going to put them on the stage. So
Fair.
still don't know where we're going to put them all on the stage, but we'll find
Well,
spots.
everyone's just going to become really good friends by the end of the night, and just real close.
That's right.
Fine.
Unity. That's the key word.
Unity.
That's it. Well, I feel that this is a good segue into our theme for the night, which is Sound of Heaven.
Yeah.
That's right.
So Candace, give us some thought as to how did we come up with that theme, Sound of Heaven?
Yeah, it was another just fun conversation with some of the people who have been kind of pioneering WRW and saying, okay, what do we feel like our region needs right now? What is God doing in our region? And around this theme of unities, what would it actually look like, and what does heaven sound like? We were talking about having all these different languages represented and looking even around the table and saying, oh man, your church is different than my church. And that's a great thing, because there are people that are going to go to your church that wouldn't go to my church, and vice versa. And seeing just the breadth of the body of Christ represented in a small way around the table, but saying around the region, there's so much diversity in that. And what would it actually look like as we talk about unity to come together, bring the things that we have in common. We worship the same God. We believe the same core things, but also coming with a bit of our differences and how we worship, what our style of church and worship looks like, all of that, and actually bringing together that sound of heaven, that sound that has multiple different languages, has multiple different expressions, but at the end of the day is actually worshiping the same God.
Mm-hmm.
That was like so beautifully said. Like, I concur. I agree. It's a wonderful way to show like there's church outside of church. There's this group of people that, like you said, worshiping the same God. And the hope is that we all make it to heaven to worship God. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to be wonderful. I look forward to that as a person worshiping here on this earth. I can't wait to get to heaven to worship the one I've been worshiping the whole time. So that's our hope, right?
One of my favorite moments from last year's worship night was I was standing in the sound booth and watching. I'm always curious to see what the sound guy's doing, but we were starting to sing. I think it was Battle Belongs or one of those really big songs. And I'm like, I can't hear the drums. I can't hear this. I can't. And I turned over to my sound guy, and he kept pushing the sliders up higher and higher and higher. The volume of people singing in the room was so loud we could barely get our sound system over the voices.
That's so beautiful.
We don't have a small sound system.
No.
It's a big one. And we could barely get it over voices. And that is the beauty of regional worship, is when people are singing so loud that the band just falls away. And they're lifting up their praise and their worship to God, who is worthy of that praise. And so as we spoke about that theme, Sound of Heaven, I mean, I think, we're not going to need decibel meters. My watch was going off constantly last year, telling me I was in a loud environment, which I was thankful to be in.
Yeah.
And it's a loud environment of voices that are lifting up their praise to our God, which is just beautiful. And so we've planned a set that I hope is going to draw that out this year as well. And I think people are going to come and they're going to sing. We got some fun songs. We're starting off. Do you want to give a little taste of what we're singing?
Oh yeah, we're starting off with this song called Revelations 19. That is honestly actually a really special song for me. It's a song that as I was growing up in youth, my friends and I would be 13 wandering around our church because we felt like we owned the place. We were there all the time. And we would in 3-part harmony be singing this song all the time, to the point where our youth pastor was like, can you please stop? Well, I get it. It's like you like this song, but it's this beautiful choral song. It's a little different. Some people are going to know it, some people may not, but we're going to start by singing All Praises Be to the King of Kings.
Amen.
And what a beautiful way to start out a night. Mm-hmm. We have a number of other songs. We're getting to sing Holy, 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 joining in with the song that's continually already is happening in heaven, and joining in with that cry, which is, I love singing Holy, Holy, Holy songs, because it's like, what a special thing to actually join with the song that's happening in heaven right now. And everything in between, really.
Yeah, everything from praise. I mean, who doesn't love singing praise?
What song is that again? Sorry.
Have you not heard Elevation Worship Praise?
Gotcha.
It's a little tune that a few places are singing.
Yeah, just niche.
Yeah. You're going to have to bring more than just your voice for that one. You have to bring your dancing shoes as well.
Oh, yeah.
Highly encouraged.
Absolutely.
Highly encouraged.
All the way to some oldies, like we're throwing in Revelation song. It's been a while since I've sung that one.
Me too. I love it, though.
I remember I went through a phase of that's all I was singing.
Yeah.
But it is a beautiful song. It's one of those songs that doesn't matter when, it's always good to bring into the set. It's always good.
It is. I know as we were picking songs, one of the frequent things we were thinking through was, do people know these songs? One. Mm-hmm. So we want songs that are familiar, right? Because we want people to sing.
Yeah.
So there is going to be one or two songs you might not know. We're singing a song called Echo Holy. If you haven't, go listen to that one. It's beautiful. But they're all songs that if you don't know, we know you're going to pick up really quickly. And we're wanting this to be a night of praise and of worship.
Yeah.
Our bands, I know their hearts. I know our music directors and our worship leaders, their hearts is not to be seen on stage. But for this, we as I said, we got over 55 people in the choir, our singers, our bands. So they're going to be falling off the stage, and really the whole church becomes a stage, right?
Yeah.
That's it's going to be like.
That's what it's going to be as we lift our voices. And I trust God is going to be blessed by the praise and the worship that we bring him on March the 1st. So
Yeah. March 1st, 7 p.m.
you want to get there early. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the thing. I have been the person before I've served at WRW, I've been the person to show up on time. And then I'm scrambling to find a friend that maybe I can squish into a seat with. Get there early.
Doors open at what time? 6:30.
Probably 6:30. That's typically what we do once the bands are in place and all that. We'll open the doors at 6:30. But I would suggest getting here before 6:30. There's typically a line forming outside, and you're going to want to get a good seat.
If you can carpool, even better.
Please, please carpool. If you have a van that can go around and pick multiple people up, do that. Yeah.
Transportation ministry. Come on.
Yeah.
That's right. So March 1st at 7 p.m., WRW Worship Night is happening. March the 2nd from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. is our WRW Worship Conference. And it's going to be a great day of learning, of growing. We have phenomenal speakers and instructors coming from all over Ontario and actually North America. We got a couple flying in.
That's right.
To help teach us in areas of music and of tech so that we can resource our churches. So the praises don't just stop on March the 1st, but continue on throughout the region. We want to be a region where God is praised and lifted up in a powerful way, right?
Amen.
And so we look forward to seeing many of you there, and invite your friends, invite your neighbors, invite your neighbors' friends, and bring them all along. It's going to be a fun weekend.
It's going
Yes,
to
it
be so
will.
good.
Thanks so much for joining me here, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
We need to do more of these podcasts. They should be more than just once a year.
I would agree.
And so just a sneak preview, we are hoping to have these happen a little bit more frequently, and we want to hear the stories of some of our worship leaders and musicians from around the region.
There are a lot of stories out here. Yeah.
There are some incredible things that God is doing. So keep checking out the space. I will put it out there publicly that we will do more. That way you can hold us all accountable to it as well.
Yeah.
Keep sending us emails asking, where's the podcast?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Keep reminding us.
awesome. Well, thanks, guys. I'm looking forward to the weekend. It's just 2 weeks away.
Wild.
That is wild. Lots to do, lots to plan, but it's exciting.
Definitely.
Can't wait.
And we'll see you all there.
See you all there.
See you there.